Hello and welcome to part 5 of our Dominion 6 series where we're playing as middle-aged Nidavangr. So in the last episode we went to war with Nabaa. We had some fairly successful skirmishes to begin with, and we're probably going to keep going with that war today. So let's have a little recap of what we're going to do. So we're probably going to be recruiting a couple more guys in Nidavangr. We want to get more of our Crow clan. We got another one of our Crow clan out, this guy here. He is actually an Astral 3 and Death 3. This is a really nice guy. We're going to want to keep him around. Because of the fact these guys are old age, and the fact that they have a fairly high amount of death gems available, we're currently going for Alteration 4, and then after that we're going to want to go for Enchantment 4. The reason for that is we want to get Twiceborn. If we can Twiceborn these Crow clans, so then they become white mages, with the fact that they have air magic as well, they become pretty scary magic casters in our later wars. We're going to need them against Asphodel, for example, later on, just to try and get rid of some of their mannequins. Or if we can get one high enough, we'll start enslaving them ourselves. Coming over to the Resting Heights. So the Resting Heights, we have quite a lot of money. So we're going to start building a Palisades up here. Fantastic. We have our prophet here, Joe B. Plenty. We're actually going to be sending him down into the range of light on top of our other army here. I'm thinking that we'll probably have a bunch of the Nebaean forces coming up here. They'll either attack here or they'll attack Escapeni. They'll attack the Oaklands. So we're going to actually just concentrate our forces in the range of light. That way we have all of our forces together. I think our Nidbaith should be strong enough that they should be able to take out any troops that are coming their way. We have a bunch more of our Reavers here as well. So we're going to grab them on a Nidhurst. We can't quite reach the range of light, and I don't want to move them to the Oaklands just because they could be killed by that Nebaean force. So we'll recruit some more guys from here, and we'll move over to Amar, and we'll get some more reinforcements in Ligrea as well that can be moved by Urpa, the clan mother. Unfortunately, we're not really finding any more water sites. I'd quite like if we could. We'll move over to Roka, and we'll also get the defense up here. So interestingly enough, these guys are Ictiads, so we have access to Ictiad shamans, and also troops that can go underneath the water fairly easily. But there's not really any kind of underwater provinces near us at the moment, so we'll probably just concentrate on our war against Nabaa. Palisade here is 2 months away. Hakon, we're going to get him to move to Golden Fens and then to the Resting Heights. He's going to be the guy who's going to make up our lab and our temple there, so we can start to recruit more people from there, and that should be absolutely fine. Having a little look through as well, so we've got Ogdeburn and John Dying here. So John Dying's obviously got all of his Nidhursts. We'll actually move these guys over there. We could potentially think about trying to take out some more provinces up here, potentially moving over towards Hogoria, which could work. Some cavalry there, some heavy cavalry, so we'll get our archers to shoot against the cavalry, and that should be fine. We've got our scout here. We've got pretty good coverage over where we think the Nabaa guys are. We'll just patrol with this lady here, and we'll recruit some more units. We'll make sure as well that we're recruiting more mages. Until we get alteration level 4, we don't really want the Wolf Clan, but it will take 2 turns, so we will actually start recruiting a couple of Wolf Clan as well. We're recruiting a couple of soldiers here as well. In the Hexwoods, we've got a couple of guys as well. Fantastic. Hrungnir, do we need more mage support? We'll also make sure that Joe has his script properly. So let's have a little check of our script. So we've got our Blessing, Personal Stone Skin, Personal Regeneration. We haven't unlocked anything better. We will have Personal Iron Skin once we have Research Alteration 3, so that'll make them even better in combat. Overall, when it comes to the scripting, we have a lot of guys casting Blessing. We don't need to be casting this many Blessings. So what I think we will do is we'll just tell them to just start casting Personal Stone Skin, Personal Regeneration, Enlarge, and then is there anything else that we can use to help? Well, with this force, we do have a couple of archers. So what we will do is we'll get them to start casting Venom Arrows. And that should be pretty useful to just buff up these archers here, just give them a little bit of poison damage to be used against these Nebaean troops. Okay, moving on. So we can see here Pyrene, Atlantis, and Asphodel all kind of in this area. As we knew, we have our other Nidhurst here, so he will pick up a bunch of troops. He can't make it to the range of lights, but we'll get him to move to Amar just to reinforce. And he'll be able to pick up those guys from Vidblande. He'll be able to move back to Ligrea after these guys have finished up getting those forces as well. So with that, I think that's the majority of what we're wanting to do. We will probably want to get a temple here at some point. The real question is, do we want to start making this into a lab? This is a decent enough province, 10,000 population. Ligrea is a little bit better. I think if we were going to get something, we'd probably get it there. But there is already a laboratory here, and there is an arena. You know what, we'll get some extra defense. It's a couple of Jaguar tribes, nothing spectacular, but it'll do. And we'll make sure as well that we have our defense here where our palisade is going to be, just to stop any bad events. Yeah, we'll get 15. Just so we can try and stop some of the bad event rolls if we can. Same over here. So yeah, I think that's a good shout. We've spent all of our money. We're getting our infrastructure up. We've got a bunch more mages coming out per turn. We're going to have another palisade up there. We'll have a palisade up here that'll be finished soon. Barry, do we move you to move into the range of light to assist potentially? Although we don't really have as many troops there as I would like. I'd probably like to have more troops before sending this many mages. But it could be kind of useful just to have another big bear who can tank a couple of hits and do a decent amount of damage. But I really want to get this research going faster if I possibly can. Yeah, I think we're okay. We'll double check. Yeah, I'm quite happy with our scout just there. We've got nobody else to command. I think with that, we're ready to go for this turn. So let's end the turn. Okay, so we can see here at the end of the turn, we were actually caught in Iskapeni. So there's a fairly large battle here. Oh no, okay, our troops weren't caught. They managed to get out. It's just our province defense, so they were going to die. That's fine. We thought that might happen, but there was also a battle in the range of light. So let's go over here. I've got to remember as well to switch on the colored squares just so we can see them in the battle. That should make things a little bit more obvious for the YouTube videos. So here we go. We've got our personal stonekin coming out, personal regeneration. A couple of envenom arrows. You can see those green arrows there being fired in. Fantastic. They'll do some good damage against that province defense. And that's absolutely fine. How many people did we lose? Absolutely nothing. We managed to capture that. We did have a little bit of a tug of war there, and that's fine. But now we have an interesting predicament for the Nebaean forces in that we have a little bit more of a tactical advantage. So we're going to move into Iskapeni. For these guys here, we're going to set them up. So we'll grab those Nid-bathed and we'll move them all into these guys here. And we'll actually make it so that they're a larger force, like so. And then we've got our undisciplined axe guys who should hopefully be able to just do a little bit of damage. So you know what, we'll give them to Arrowcatcher, seeing as Arrowcatcher hopefully will not die again. And we'll get him to move to Iskapeni. They could move up to Nanaboa, which could be an issue. That could definitely be an issue, although we should have the palisade done, but they could potentially do it. We're actually going to PD dump here, just to be sure that we can take out this Nebaean force. And we're recruiting guys, yep. We'll make sure Barry has a proper script as well. Yeah, we'll get him to do that. Get them to guard. So his envenom arrows will also work on these javelins, so these guys will guard him. And he will be making their arrows envenomed. And we'll just get him to research while he's doing that. Over here, we're still building our palisade. We've got our troops over here with John Dye and Octoburn. They can't quite make it to Helgoria this turn, so what we'll do is we'll give them some reinforcing troops over here in Scythia. And we're still recruiting a couple of troops here. We're still recruiting a couple more archers here. We'll get a couple more if we can. In the range of light, really don't like this Naban Dominion. The Dominion is pretty awful, it must be said, but there's nothing we can do about that. Let's get a couple more Nid-bathed over here, and we'll get some more of our little blenders. Blender ladies, fantastic. And then we've got some more of our mages to recruit, so we will start getting some more Wolf Clan. We've got Barry, who's going to be our bear. And overall, in terms of our gold, we're actually doing really quite well. I'm tempted to get another fortress up here in Ligria, or potentially over here in Jelenagora. Actually, rock is probably the best idea because it's kind of more spread out. We do have our temple and our laboratory over here as well, so we'll make sure that we're recruiting another wolf clan there. All these wolf clan will be really useful with the fact that they can shape change into the wolves. This Asphodel force is in the lake. Not so happy about that. That's going to be a little bit hard to get rid of, but we'll deal with them later on. Hopefully they won't declare war on us, but we just have to see. Let's keep having a little look around, see what we can see of these Naban forces. And I think this is the last guy here, so we'll get him to actually move to the bog. I can't move to the bog of beasts because it is currently summer, of course. Shame. Oh, there was also a battle in Peskin. This is the forces of Pyrene attacking, looks to be an independent force. Very strange one, looks like a bunch of wet ones. Mercenaries, just fighting against some independents. Those wet ones might struggle with this actually, there's quite a lot of people there. But now they managed to rout the militia, but they've routed themselves. Yep, there we go. Wet ones. Ah, lovely, lovely units. Always have a soft spot for them. They are not very good. Okay, so with that, we've done pretty much all of our recruitment that we can do, which is fine. We're obviously building a palisade up here. We want to save a little bit of money. We're going to have quite a lot of income, but we're going to be spending the income building the laboratory over there. Part of me is wondering if we do build something up over here. I think the issue that we have here is that because it's on the border with Nabaa, it's just a little bit too tenuous of a situation to keep. What we will do instead is we will get our 10 province defense everywhere we can, now that we have the money to spend. Fantastic. There we go. So the interesting thing about what we're doing here, the way that we've expanded, we are actually expanding past our dominion. So our dominion isn't that great in terms of our income, in that we have quite a lot of cold. We have a lot of sloth. We have a little bit of order, but not that much. So these provinces here that are a little bit further away, we're getting a lot more income out of these ones than we are in some of our main provinces, just because of the malices that our dominion gives to our income. So by using that, by expanding further than your dominion is, if you have not so great dominion, then you can ensure that you're getting your income later into the game than you otherwise would. The counter side to that is, of course, if you have good dominion, you want to be using that to be building up temples, you want to be building up infrastructure to spread your dominion so that you're getting the most value out of those scales. But because of those scales, you'll have the money to do that more than likely. Okay, so with that, we'll just double check all of our recruitment, make sure that we're recruiting everywhere we can and should be. Yeah, we'll probably build up here in Rocca, and to do that we'll actually get another cub mother, and we'll start just making a couple of dudes out here as well. I'm not too worried about Pyrene because we have that non-aggression pack, thank goodness, which is very, very nice. It's more Asphodel and Nabaa. I'm hoping that we can deal a pretty strong blow against Nabaa here in Iskapen. Then we'll move down, we'll deal with this army over here in Munis, we'll get rid of this temple. If we can start to kind of strangle out some of their outlying provinces, start taking that away from them, so they're just concentrating the Bog of Beasts and in Nabaa itself, and that's fine. Once we have a big enough army that we can split it into and siege both of them fairly comfortably, then that's what we'll do, and we'll think about what we can do in terms of bringing up some additional support. As it stands, Alteration 3 coming next turn, fantastic. We can start getting moss bodies onto our Nidbathe. Not only does that give us a little bit of fire resistance, but also reduces the damage, means they're less likely to use their soul scars, can potentially do a bit of moss explosion as well for the armor negating damage. We can also start buffing them up with bark skin as well. That's the point buffing of bark skin, so we can have all of our bears just quickly try and probably personal stone skin than bark skin. We'll have to see. We have to try and catch them before they run away, which is always the issue with point buffing. Body ethereal as well, we'll be using that in our sieges. That'll be really, really nice. But then when we get to level 4, we'll start bringing in our Crow clan. Part of me is wondering if we do wait for enchantment 4. These guys are pretty expensive for what they're using. We'll have to do some thinking, but we're not there yet. We're still researching. We're still getting our income up. Overall, things looking pretty good. Couple of more bear clan here. Yeah, I think we're all right with how we're moving. We're getting a couple more guys in the Oaklands. Fantastic. Ligria, yep. And over here, we'll get a couple more of these javelin guys just over here for us to pick up in a second. We might actually send Vidability back to Nidavangr so he can pick up more troops from there and start bringing them down so we have more of our Nidbait in the fight. Overall, I think that's us. We've moved everybody we can. We're recruiting where we can. We've got a little bit of income left for our more infrastructure development next turn. Palisades will be done next turn as well. Fantastic. That will really help us. We'll get that boost up to a fortress, and that should be all good. In terms of the research, we could actually spare one bear. So we're actually going to do that. We're going to just tell this guy to move over as well. It is a little bit wasted. We are wasting 12 research points, but I think having the 2 bears over here with their bodyguards should be enough to hold the province with the province defense that we have against any Naban forces if they manage to make it up there. Okay, I think with that we're good. So we will continue on with the turn and end the turn here. Okay, so with that, our alteration is completed. We searched for magic sites, we didn't find anything. There was a battle in the range of light, so let's have a little look at what happened there. So this is Nabaa attacking with a small force of villains, looks like just a mercenary force, against a ragtag group of our province defense. They're going to die. That's a bit of a shame. But that's okay, we can deal with that. And then there was also a battle in Iskapen. So let's have a look. This is our big force here against a couple of barbarians, some camel riders. So we're getting our blessing out. They've got their annoying little crows that Nabaa has. So these riders here all start with a hawk that will come out and harass you, can mess up some of your scripting, so you gotta be worried about that. And here we go, the Nidbathe charging in, just absolutely obliterating those barbarians. Just cutting them down, don't even give them a chance to berserk, just do enough damage that they're done. March on over to the camel riders, and they're going to give them a good old chopping as well. Yep, there we go. doing pretty well to just cut down these guys here. These guys don't have the best protection. As you can see, 3, really not the best protection, neither do the camels. So one good hit from those swords, and that'll be them. Yeah, good stuff. And the armies of Nabaa are routed, so that was actually a small force of their Nabaean camel riders, as well as their general, and then some province defense as well. Can't complain, we managed to do that. We also managed to protect our palisades and Enerboa. So a little bit of a fluid front. We're just waiting for some more force concentration over here, and then we'll be able to start engaging them properly. We can see that they've got some foul spawns as well. We'll have to have a little think about what we're going to do, but we've managed to get our infrastructure up here. We're getting more infrastructure up in the Resting Heights and more again in Raqqa. We're going to be able to transition into a much stronger year 2 than our year 1 after a not so great start, admittedly, by myself. But we're getting to the point now where we should be getting ready to push on Nabaa, probably take out this fortress, which looks like it has been upgraded in the Bogs of Beasts. But once we have a bit more forces, once we manage to get a bit more gold advantage, we'll be able to push on there and take them out lickety-split, especially with our brand new Research for Alteration level 3. So we're going to have to do a little bit more changes to our scripting. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope that's helpful to you. Obviously, if you'd like to be a part of the current game, please let me know in the comments if you'd like me to rename a commander, and we'll get that done for you when we can. I just wanted to say thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.